everyone, and welcome to our weekly AMA with the ION team. We'll go through sort of the project itself today, a bit of a development update. We'll go through a few of the departments, and then we'll answer some of the community questions as well towards the end of the video, which will sort of hopefully give you a little bit more insight into everything that we're doing. And yeah, keep the questions coming. Feel free to hit us up on Twitter or anything like that, or Discord or Telegram, and you could be answered on one of these videos. Essentially, I'm joined today by James.
Hey everybody.
He's our marketing lead at the moment, and he's doing a lot of the background work, which we're really grateful for here at ION, which is awesome. The big sort of development update, I guess, this week is the continued development of the simulator. I guess you can call it a game, but it's a really powerful demonstration of the ION protocol, and we're using sort of those Web 3.0 principles in order to demonstrate basically the power of the system itself. So a huge update that we've got is there's a few clips that we have now. It shows you know the first person view of someone walking around a community, a housing community, where you can look at the houses and get a bunch of stats on that house. Stats like whether they're a supplier, whether they're a user of energy, and the rate at which that's passing through based on whether they've got that solar technology on their roof or any other renewable technology, and whether they're contributing to the microgrid that sort of is established within a group of houses, communities, and eventually cities. That's sort of where we want to go with this technology. And that's sort of been the vision the whole time, is to connect it all up in that way. So that's going to be huge, and I can't wait for everyone to be able to play with the simulator and give us some tips and sort of demonstrate the power of it. And I'm really looking forward as well in some of our business development discussions and demonstrating this technology to some of the commercial agreements that ION's looking to pursue into the future to sustain the project and to have some real adoption of the technology, which is really, really exciting. So we're really fortunate to have Phil. He's from the Holochain community, and he's over building the simulator at the moment, and he's assisted by Mike and Sim as well, and they're getting it all put together. It's really, really exciting, and I'm really keen to show everyone. One of the other big sort of milestones that we've got, and a Q2 goal that we've recently crossed off the list, is a deep and thorough audit of the token itself, just to ensure that there's utility there and to ensure we're on the right development path to guarantee that utility in the token. This is something that, in the crypto community at the moment is really hot topic, as we see a lot of crypto projects sort of fall away during the big washout, I guess, or during the big receding tide. I think it's an overall positive thing for the community. It makes teams like us and a bunch of other projects like us that are sort of our size and sort of on our development path as well, really take a look at these types of metrics and make sure that we're compliant with global regulations and upcoming laws as they're introduced, certainly the laws in the States that have sort of been brewing for a few years now, and a lot of regulators have sort of known the direction that it was going to go just based on some case law and some of the other regulations that sort of are passed down from the FATF and things like that. At the moment, it's good to know sort of where we stand with the token, and it's good to know the pathway to give us an even bigger access to market, essentially. This is really important as we sort of look to list on bigger exchanges. And the key thing there is the bigger exchanges now are in deep discussions with these government regulators and with these huge forces outside of the crypto community, because they're looking for legitimacy just like everyone else in this community. Crypto's been in this pocket for a pretty long time, and it's really exciting to see sort of the new chapter of cryptocurrencies as we sort of are set alongside things like stocks and that traditional finance world, with the key differentiator that we have of being actually a token that can be used in a system, which is a really cool distinguishing factor that sets cryptocurrencies away from stocks and other sort of digital assets, I guess, or other assets in general, I should say, which is really exciting. So it's cool. It's great to cross a project like that off our list. and it gears us up to settle into Q3 and continue on this journey, continue on the pathway that we're on, and make sure that we achieve some of our bigger goals for Q3 and eventually Q4 as we set up for the next year and the years beyond, which is really cool. James, I'll pass it over to you just for a little marketing update, just the department update or how things are going and any sort of milestones that have sort of popped up. Thanks, James.
Well, just firstly, I'd just like to say thanks to the community. We've had an unprecedented amount of engagement and positive feedback. We've wanted to not only just branch out from educating the community throughout, which have become quite longer form pieces, but they're still getting some good engagement. But we wanted to speak more widely about the things that we're interested in, the things that we really care about, like Web3, and all the people in the sort of ecosystem that we exist in that really have an instrumental part to play in the development of that. So we've been putting through some videos on Holochain, and there's a whole series more to come. And it's been really great to see that that's the type of thing that you guys want to hear us talk about when we're not talking about specific company updates. So there's going to be a lot more of that to come, and it's really great to see you guys all meeting us on Twitter, and we're going to blow up the YouTube channel soon with some really great content.
And James, how's the growth going at the moment? As I understand it, just looking at some of the metrics, it looks like we've had some of the bigger months in the last month or two, as far as community engagement and stuff, which is really positive for the community, isn't it?
Yeah, the groups, the Telegram channels, the Twitter, the Facebook, we've had an influx of followers, including the Medium as well, including those long form pieces, and we've got we've managed to broaden the demographics where people are coming from. Where we thought we were global before, we're even more global now. We're probably ticked off every single country of the list at the moment with a significant group of followers from each one. The last video we put out for you guys on holo hosting and Web3 in general, we've had in the first 5 hours we had a couple thousand hits. So really cool guys. Keep supporting us, and we're going to keep bringing you the best that we can.
Yeah, it's a really exciting time, and I think just the growth that we've got now and some of these bigger months and bigger sort of metrics that we're seeing now, it's really indicative of how important technology like this will be and is to solve some of these energy crises that we have going on around the world. It's so clear that we've needed an upgrade of the traditional grid system that has been around for hundreds of years now, at a really long time. And as we move to renewables and decentralized energy, things like the IOEN protocol are going to be primed in these markets, which is really, really exciting to see. And, we've got a head start with our technology with this type of thing. So as we see more Tesla batteries come online, and as we see more, solar panels and things like that come online, a lot of people aren't looking to necessarily sell back to the grid in that traditional sense. And in some cases, the grid itself is at a capacity where it can't take on more energy. And that's sort of where this technology really shines. It shines where there's a necessity to upgrade these old systems that can't understand or don't want to change in this era of energy abundance, which is what we're entering. Like, let's make that clear. Like, we're entering a renewable energy landscape, but it's an energy landscape of abundance based on using the sun and using things like wind farms and just the energy that exists all around us. So it's a really exciting time with us here at IOEN, and yeah, it's good to see that the message is increasing and getting across, which is really cool.
Yeah, I'll just add, Connor, that now, especially now in 2022, the numbers are getting a lot easier for the general public to understand, and we're obviously speaking with Australian accents from Australia. So in an Australian context, with 150,000 homes that already have batteries, if those batteries had the capacity to automate and feed back into the grid properly, we would be able to, just with 150,000 of those homes that already have batteries, we'd be able to get rid of 3 fossil fuel plants. And these numbers, we're not talking in these giant scales anymore. It's a lot easier to understand what world we're living in now, and it's a renewable energy world.
Very, very cool. Let's answer a couple of questions that we've had on Telegram and Twitter, which are really interesting, and I really want to address. And keep these questions coming. We're always happy to answer anything, and we like answering it in these formats as well, because it's a little bit more personal, and you get to hear us kind of answer it rather than just typing something out over a period of time. We've got our first question here. It says, I feel that there is a huge wall that is separating the project from the token. It's a good sort of point, I guess. There kind of are these walls and barriers, I guess, that exist between tokens and the protocols of projects and the initial sort of spin up of projects. And I guess that sort of stems from the 2017 crypto sort of run, where a lot of cryptocurrencies were created in order to help fund these tokens and things like that. The differentiator that we have is that the token that we have is being built into the system itself. And that's where we provide that sort of key utility. So by having the token as the main transfer of value between microgrids, it allows the token to be used much beyond just being a token on an exchange and not doing much other than arguably being a tool for investment. That's definitely not how we see ION, and that's not what we created ION for. ION's a way to exchange the value between those microgrids, and within the microgrids themselves, that's where the ION is redeemable for ION fuel. And the ION fuel is the token, the second token, I guess, that's sort of within a system only and can't be exported out of a microgrid system. So although right now it feels like that maybe there's a wall, the only reason that it feels like that is because we're still in that development cycle. We're still in that initial deep development cycle where we've only got the sort of initial systems. We've got our concepts, and we've got the simulators. And as we start to scale and deploy the technology more widely, that's where the true sort of value of the utility of the token will come into play. The second question that we have, do you not want to update your website after a year? Yes, we do, and we have. It just hasn't gone live yet. So the website update is pretty much done. We've got the complete wireframe, we've got all the assets, we've got all the pages, the new look, and we've got everything ready to go. We're just doing the front end build at the moment. So yep, we understand the website. That was a website from all the way back from IDO, and it is a little bit outdated, and that's why we took it on as a Q2 challenge to get that sorted. So we should have that done hopefully in the next few weeks. I'm not too sure exactly when that'll be. I'll look into it, but we're 80 to 90% there on that goal. So the website will be updated, and we'll share it with everyone because it's a really exciting new step. We've taken a more professional approach in the website and a more professional look in order to try to increase some more legitimacy to the project and make it easier, I guess, so when we're in these commercial discussions to send these guys to our websites and be really proud of it. So that's what we're doing with the website. The last question I've got here is from Crypto Jedi, or Brandon from Twitter. He says, I need to do some more work digging into the tokenomics and the mechanics of the utility utilization and microgrid exchange to determine what the long-term value potential is. Yeah, I mean, have a good look at the white paper. We're going to upgrade that in the next couple of months, but the concepts are the same. The concepts will be the same. I guess the main thing with the tokenomics and the utility utilization, think about it as an accounting system within a microgrid. So where there's energy flows in and out of within a microgrid, each agent, each sort of home, I guess, or asset, because it can be a neighborhood battery or solar panel or something like that, will be passing numbers back and forth, and the ION fuel token will be the unit of measurement, I guess, between those two assets, between all the assets within a microgrid. Then when we want to connect microgrid to microgrid, or if you want to exit a microgrid, ION fuel is redeemable for the ION token itself. So the more substantial and more digital asset part of the system. And that digital asset can then be passed between microgrids in order to, if a microgrid has excess energy overall, a community can then, essentially sell that off to another community, and then vice versa, it can buy sort of that energy from another community as well. The microgrid exchange, so that all is encompassed under that microgrid and hollow fuel sort of system itself. In determining long-term potential value, that's something that the value of energy is going to be essentially tied to what an ion or a ion fuel or token is. So it'll have that intrinsic sort of value across it. I think that sort of answers the question. Happy to go into that further with you, Brandon, if you want. We're always here to have a chat as well.
Cool, very cool.
Cool. So that's our 3 questions for the week. Thanks for tuning into this update. We'll have another update next week with a little bit more news. And keep those questions coming. We'll be happy to answer it here. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Connor.